Welcome back to the podcast. Today I have my first guest, my good friend Becky. We've worked together for the last little bit on a custom bullet journal, but I would love, Becky, for you to introduce yourself.
Oh, hi. I am glad to be here. Chris and I have just become friends the last couple months because we connected over bullet journaling. And I am a mom of five kids. I live in Utah, in Salt Lake, and my kids range from age 33 to 21. So I don't have the little kids and I don't have high school.
You
I
have
am a new,
me-aged kids.
what was that?
I said you have me-aged kids.
I do. I love hanging out with people who are my kids' ages.
Well, perfect.
It is. It's great. I've really connected with a lot of younger younger moms. I love it. I think the reason is because I remember what a struggle it was for me at that stage.
Mm.
And I just look at you and I'm like, you're doing it. You're doing it. It can be so hard and it can be so wonderful and magical, but you're dealing with a lot of things. So I really relate to young moms and raising young families. So yeah, since I am at this stage of life where my children are not really dictating what I do or my timing, I've had a lot more free time. In the last couple of years, I have been developing a life coaching business. I'm a
Yeah.
personal lifestyle coach, and I just, I'm sure we'll get more into this, but I feel like Krista has opened up a whole new avenue for me that I've been like, I know something was out there and I just didn't know what it was. And I just feel like this has exponentially changed my approach and what I can do as a life coach.
Yay. Well, I love that. I've felt since I started making these custom bullet journals that there were people like you out there that this would just be so useful for you, your business. So I guess we'll definitely get into that. But I do want to know, like, from your perspective, because I don't even know. I mean, we've been working together for a little bit, but like, what is like what does bullet journaling, I guess, mean to you? Or what is first, actually, maybe let's start with this. What has been your experience with bullet journaling? And then you can kind of tie in what does it
Okay.
mean to you? Because I'm curious to know too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've always loved planners. Couldn't wait for a new year or a school year to have all the notebooks and the fresh pens and markers. And I love that fresh start. And so bullet journaling, I really hadn't paid attention to it or known much about it until 2020.
Okay, really? That's when I started learning about it too.
Yeah. A couple years before that, I had gotten a passion planner. My sister showed me what she was doing, and after I saw it, then I went and bought markers and I started coloring in my scriptures. I started coloring in the planner I had, and I would just buy big doodle paper and just start doodling. And it opened up creativity in me that I really hadn't done since I was a kid. I felt like a kid pulling it all out and doing it.
It's so fun. So I actually am curious because I've heard of this word passion planner before. Can you just tell me what it is? Is it similar to bullet journaling? What do you think? Because I've never used one. And I actually love the name of it, passion planner. I'm like, that actually sounds more aligned with I use the term bullet journaling because that's what I like came into it doing. But
Right.
what is a passion planner or how does that work? I'm just curious.
A passion planner is just a little bit more structured. So it's like a calendar, and I have taken some of the things I loved about the passion planner, like the month layout, the weekly layout, extra space to add extra notes or brainstorm or some of those ideas. But what I was lacking was just some of my daily journaling parts in it. That's
Mhm.
so much of a planner, like a calendar, but I also have been a journal writer my whole life. And so it's really important to me that every day I just kind of pause and it's like, so what happened today? The difference to me is a planner, you look at the week, you put everything in that you're going to do, and either you are successful or you're not. You either did it or you didn't. I'd get so hard on myself, like, oh, look at all the things I didn't do. And so a couple of years ago, or through this process, I stopped like always predicting what I was going to do. And I simplified and like, what is the most important thing to do today? And then at the end of the day, I could look back and say, and you did this, and you did this, and you did this. And what else do you need to do tomorrow or whatever? But um, so my idea of planning, journaling, calendaring is a combination of both of
Yeah.
what is set and also what did happen.
Oh my
What
gosh.
did it look like?
I totally agree. I've been pondering this lately and I feel like that's that's why it's like I'm calling it bullet journaling, right? Because that's what I just know it as. But and people are just like, what is bullet journaling? So I'm trying to, get better at teaching about it and teaching what it is. And I've been describing it as a planner and journal in one. But like
Mhm.
that's why it's so cool because I feel like it is the both sides. It's like you're creating your plans. You're being intentional, hopefully, with like you said, you're hopefully narrowing down to like the few things you actually want to write in there. So you are like creating your life. You're planning the things you want to do. But then you're also like going back and like showing yourself what you did do. So it's like the two, it's like past and future coming together,
Totally.
future and then reflection like coming together. I think it's really cool and really fun.
It has helped me feel a lot more joy in life because I just felt like I was always not being enough. I wasn't doing enough, not being good enough because there was always things on my list that never got marked off.
Mhm.
Instead of now I look at that list, I'm like, that actually wasn't that important. It's
Mm,
okay that that one's not going to happen, or there's a better time to have that one happen. So I'll put it over in a different place.
mhm,
So I feel like bullet journaling and journaling has just given me a lot more grace
mm,
and self-compassion. Like, yeah, you didn't get the things done on your list today, but you spent extra time with this person that needed more attention or that was crying for help.
totally.
And and that was important too.
I know because I've made a journal with you that that's super important too. But I also just wanted to say before we talk about a little bit maybe your custom journal was it is so cool to look back, at your week, you said, at your day. But you and I, we've been doing this since 2020. I am like so proud of my little collection. Like I love looking back at the journals that I do have. And you're right, like I didn't know that I like I'm not saying I associate like my self-worth with that, but like it is. It's a very like personal thing and it makes me feel cool that I like documented it in this fun way, right? Do you feel similarly looking back at your collection? Because I know you have like a cool collection of passion planners. So
Yes. Yes. I do feel like this is something nobody else really will see.
mm,
Like I can just I've always said, oh, I'm not the artistic one. My sister was the artistic one.
thank you.
And and I found myself labeling me that.
Mhm.
Like I played the piano, she's the artist. That's just kind of how we grew up. And
I played the piano.
do you?
Yeah, I was the pianist, and my younger sister was an artist. I have two sisters though, but that's
Yeah.
we have that in common.
Yeah. And so this has been really, I remember as kids, I was like, I'm the colorer, you're the artist, you draw the pictures and I'll color it in. And I loved the coloring part.
Mhm.
And so when I started pulling out a bullet journal and getting colors and making shapes and lettering, I'm still not the artistic one, but the lettering and being creative in the sizes and the fonts and the styles have just been so liberating for me.
Mhm.
I realize I wrote this down yesterday about how allowing our creativity um, opens us up to God's creativity. Like when I'm creative, I'm actually accessing who I was created to be.
Hmm.
And let's see. Oh, it's just some creative affirmations. Like I am allowed to nurture my artist. Through my creativity, I serve God. And I was like, that's what I felt like happened when I started putting, and my definition of bullet journaling is like being completely creative. Like
Mm.
have to be stuck to this structure, like add the colors, mess up.
Hmm.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to do it wrong or not like it. There's some things I've done that I don't like at all.
Hmm. Me too.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think to that too, like some people maybe get scared to just even start because it's
Yeah.
like they see that side of it and like hopefully listening to this, you can hear both Becky and I honestly don't even consider ourselves super we didn't think we were the artsy people. I
No.
really think that like I didn't even think I was that art. In fact, I know I took an art class in high school and some of my projects were terrible.
Yeah.
So like I'm not even like it's been a journey to identify as like I'm an artistic
Right.
person, but
Right.
like I hope that that helps other people who are like scared to maybe start bullet journaling because you don't have to be artistic. And I think like you said, the mistakes are just part of it and I
Mhm.
like to just keep it as a learning process. Like whenever I make a mistake, I just think, okay, that just means I don't want to do that again. Or like if I did something that I didn't like, then I say,
Right.
okay, I'm not going to do that again in my journal because I
Right.
didn't like that. But like we're just playing here. We're just
Right.
experimenting. And
Right. And I've learned to like make the mistake into something useful or as a filler or something. Um, yeah, like that Japanese bowl that gets cracked and
oh,
then they fill it with the gold pieces and then it turns into this beautiful piece that wouldn't have been like that if it hadn't broken.
that is amazing. I love
And
that.
yeah, and so I'm like, the mistakes aren't a mistake. It's just a different way of looking at it.
And also like it's almost it's like a reflection of me, of you, right? Like we're not perfect. So
Yeah.
how can we get expect our journals to be perfect or anything to be perfect really that we create? As long as we're creating, I think it's just fun. And so yeah, that's been really helpful for me to just be like, it's fine. The mistakes are fun, sort of. They're just part of it. So
Right. And I agree because I was such a perfectionist. And this really has helped me break down some of that hard on myself. Oh, I
mhm.
did that wrong. And just let it be that it's okay. And I think the other thing, if people are uncomfortable, don't know where to start with bullet journaling, I think it's totally fine to just say you don't have to show anybody.
Yeah.
This is not to nobody else has to take pictures and put it on Instagram.
Mhm.
I mean, I did not start wanting to do that.
Yeah.
At this point, um, people they're inspired by it. And my daughter helped me see that. She's like, Mom, do you know how many what an art this is? And people really like it. They like to see it. So, but I didn't start off wanting to show anybody anything.
Mhm.
And it's just kind of planting that seed. Does it grow? Is it something you like? Does it help open up more creativity if who you can another way of expressing yourself?
Yeah. I mean, to that point, kind of, right? That's why I think you were perfect for making this custom bullet journal, right? Maybe we should talk about that.
Yes, let's talk about
Maybe I would love to hear
it.
just like a backstory. I mean, we can talk about the details in the pages and stuff, but like what inspired, I guess, this bullet journal? We'll start there.
Um, I, I remember a year ago this time, I had been like really trying to create a business of life coaching. And it's tough. You can't just say, okay, one day I'm going to be a life coach and okay, I'm open for business. Let's get.
Yeah.
And the things that really inspire me are the end of the year things. Like so what happened this year? Because of that journaler in me or that historian, like I want to capture the things of last year. And so I've been really inspired by different people
Mhm.
that kind of take time at the end of the year and recap and then a fresh start in the new year. And I remember thinking, well, I'd love to help people with that. And I was like, I don't know. I don't have anything. Like, I don't know what I do. Like, so and so does it this way, and so does it that way. And I just didn't have any tools. Um, so when January came, I was like, well, I could just have a vision board party at my house.
So you did
And
that.
I did.
Oh, how was that?
It was fun. And just it wasn't what I expected. I thought that we would start and have a vision board done and take home this big poster with all these pictures on it. Um, but what it ended up was a group of women getting together and talking about dreaming. Women have a really hard time to dream big and to see something in the future. And so it became really a connecting and we wrote down like what would our dreams be? Like if you weren't afraid of anything, what would you do?
Love that.
And just kind of exploring some of those things. So it was just really fun and I just tried to do what I could, like getting together, let's talk about this. And I've done different presentations like at church about how to set goals and habits of health, like how to do this. But um, so a whole year later, when I'm talking to you, and honestly, all I did was show you what I've been doing and all the different things. And it was you that brought them all together and said, well, we could put this in there. I'd never thought that my bullet journal could also have my habit tracker in there. I never thought that my bullet journal could also have like a monthly reflection prompt. Um, I never thought my bullet journal could have a vision board page. You started listening to the things that were important to me and you pulled them together
Mm.
and put a layout. And slowly, as you and I created that together, well, I know there was divine intervention
Mm.
because you're at a busy stage of your life, but you took the time to do that for me. And I really respect that and honor that.
Oh,
Um, and what I got in return is this beautiful notebook. And it's mine. It's like everything that's important to me is right here. And I feel like um, it helps me shine brighter. And shine is my word, to shine my light for more people. And like, this is my tool. This is my life coaching tool that this is what I will help people apply and work through. And at whatever level they're at, there's a piece in this book that could help them just take one baby step and elevate them to living a happier, healthier life.
that's amazing.
That's my backstory.
That's so cool. I mean, I'm just so like on the other side, right? Of like, I can do this for people. That's why it's so cool to have found you because like I knew in developing this skill the past year or whatever that I learned, there's a technical side,
Yeah,
there's all that side of it, but I love to be able to be that resource to people where it's like you just have the ideas. You just
right.
because I mean, you know this. I don't even think I'm gonna. I love creating it from a blank dot grid journal, and it took me a while to like admit that because I love making these customs for people. Like I love making these structured ones for people because it's not easy to just look at a blank bullet journal and know what to do with it.
Yeah.
I know what to do with it because I've done this for a while and I actually find I enjoy that. I didn't do that this year. So anyways, I just love being able to take people like you that have all these cool ideas, like so, so cool, and just making a concrete physical product even too. I love that it's a physical product because like you said, like coaching is amazing. I love coaching. I'm obsessed with it. And like I definitely see how it helps people. I don't know if everyone understands like what a coach is or how a coach can help you, but you have like a physical thing that
I
you can
do.
say, this is how I can help you, right?
Yes. Yes. And absolutely. Like, I wouldn't do the technical side. I mean, I might have had this idea, but I would have sat on it. I wouldn't have
Mhm.
like taken the time to figure it. I don't want to. I
Mhm.
don't want to figure out the technical side. And so that's where the co-creation is like, I was the creator, the thought behind it.
Mhm.
And you took it to the next level where it became a physical um, tool.
Yeah. Well, that's good to hear. I think
Yes, what you're doing is great.
I think most of the people, well, I'm actually not even talking about that. Well, yes, thank you. Thank you for talking about. But I'm saying like I've been trying to decide if I should teach people how to do what I do, but I'm kind of maybe, I don't know. I don't know if that's, I don't know if it can be learned. I mean, it can. It totally can. But like, I'm realizing that this is like a skill that I have that not many people have. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try and teach people about it. But like you just said, I've started saying like, I'm gonna teach you how to do it. And most of the feedback I've got is, I don't want to know how to do that.
Uh-huh.
Just want to have the idea and I want you to do it for me. So I'm playing around with that, but it's cool to hear though that that's like I've created this like one of a kind skill so far that I
Right.
don't think people have.
Right.
So
And maybe it's not yet. Maybe you just haven't found the people yet that want to do it.
oh for sure. Yeah,
And
agreed. I think that
so sometimes that's our answer is just like, well, not yet. That's a good idea. But to stay on the path that you're doing, because if this is easy for you
yeah,
and you can spend time with your family,
I know.
then you just kind of stick with this a little bit longer until
No, you're
something.
so sweet. That's I think that's the main thing is I try and prioritize my family. So, it takes time. It still takes time. It was a process that we went through, right? Of like I do like this, a little bit of going back and forth. And then it's just, the technical side. And I don't have a lot of time away from my littles. I think
Right.
more time, but so anyways, I think that's just part of it. So yeah, you're so sweet helping me through this on your podcast.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I would love to maybe tell me a couple of the pages. Tell me about a couple of your favorite pages in your custom bullet journal because there's a lot. You've started sharing about it already on your social media, and I guess by the time that this episode is released, it will be for sale, so you can go on my website and take a look at it. But tell us some of your favorite pages and like maybe a little inspiration behind one or two of those pages, however you want to, whatever you want to share.
okay. I am so excited for it to launch on Monday.
Woohoo!
Like, what perfect timing. Black Friday sale. Um, this is the time where, like, for me, if
Mhm.
I'm my perfect client, like, I'm starting to look for what am I going to do next year? I want to be organized. And um, so I generally, it's like the great thing is it's like any planner or calendar, like you have all of that there.
Totally.
On
Mhm.
top of that, the things that really are important to me that are special and unique
Mhm.
is this page.
Oh yeah. I love both of those pages, like side by side too.
Yes.
It's like really cool to see them side by side. So for the people who aren't seeing it, tell
Yes.
us what's on these two.
Okay. So on the left side, there's a page and it's called God is in the Details of My Life. And then it's numbered down the left side for however many days there are in that month.
Mhm.
And this is a practice that I have been doing in in other journals and other places, like they're all over the place. But every day, at the end of the day, is when I pull out my planner. And
Mhm.
that's when I do my review of the day. It takes about 5 minutes, but that's a very important habit of mine. At the end of the day, reflect. So yeah, how did God show up in my life today? Was it like a message that I read that just really hit my heart? Was it something somebody said? Sometimes it's a symbol. When I see the star um, somewhere, I'm like, oh, that's my shining. Keep shining.
Mhm. Oh, star. I didn't know
There's
star.
just little messages that I feel like God is sending me here and there, just like I'm here. I'm here. And so that's what I record, one thing every day. Um, and then on the other page, it's divided into three sections.
This is really cool, by the way. I've, I mean, you've been sharing this and like people are like loving this page, I think. It's hard to explain, I think, when we talk
Yeah.
about it. Yes,
Yeah.
tell us
So
about it if you
so
can.
it's a habit tracker,
Wow.
but my habit tracker, it has 8 habits that I get to customize every month.
Hmm.
And I go through um the 4 areas of it's like the children and youth program, that like the 4 areas of spiritual
Okay.
and physical and mental and social. And I usually pick 2 things from each one, and then I write them in. So every month will be a different set of habits.
Cool.
And it's exactly what I need for that month.
Yes,
And there have been some times that I've put something here and I hardly did it at all that month.
totally.
And I was like, that just it's collecting data. Like
Totally.
that was not the right timing. That's really not that important. And then my I have a bigger space that you can write down, I feel joy, because every day I need to focus on the joy in my life.
I love that.
And then the third section is service. Like, did I serve one person? Who was it that I really connected with on a deeper level?
That is so powerful. I love that.
So through my trackers, I'm touching on God, I'm
Yeah.
touching on joy, I'm touching on service, and then those little 8 habits. A lot of times it's like um, getting my water for the day,
Mm,
or 6,000 steps,
mm,
meditating, like quiet time. And like just small things that um, I like to track. Reading a book is one of them. Did I open a book and read a book? And then I like to like check. So like whatever I want to get better at,
mm.
that's what I put on there.
I love that. And I actually love what you said about like, it's really not, if you didn't do a habit, that's just like interesting to know, right? Like, it's not like, I think when I first started bullet journaling and first started habit tracking, I would feel, I guess, maybe like shame, not really shame, but just like, oh, like I didn't do the habit. But it's more like, no, it's just like interesting. Like,
Yeah.
doesn't mean you failed if you
Yeah.
didn't do it every day. It just means like you didn't really, that doesn't really align, I guess, with you, or you need to
You know
change.
what? I have looked at it, like where those spaces are, the ones that I didn't do on a day.
Hmm.
I look at it at the end of the month and I'm like, it actually makes this more pretty. What if I had like filled in everything every day?
True.
It would be boring.
Yeah. You'd
And
be
so I'm like,
robot.
no, it's okay that that one didn't happen that day.
Hmm.
It left a space. And the
Hmm.
next day, and sometimes it'll go 3 or 4 days. Like I had on there once practicing the piano because I
Hmm.
was like, I'm just not getting to the piano very often. And I would watch him like, you just went 10 days without practicing. Do you
Hmm.
like that? Well, maybe tomorrow that's a higher priority.
Yeah.
But
It's a
it's not a judgment.
it's a good place to reflect, like ask yourself a question about that. I like that. Like,
Yeah.
well, do you want to be practicing piano right now?
Yeah.
Or do you not? Like,
Maybe this isn't the season, or
hmm.
this month was busy, or summer, or whatever it is.
Hmm.
But
But I
it
also, yeah, I love that it has those habits, but I love what you also just said, how it's like the personal habits, but it's also like seeing God, joy, service, like all of those things in 2 pages. Like I can't believe, and that one, like I can't take credit for that. I mean, yes, I like digitized it for you so that we could print it in this bullet journal, but like you, like how did you even come up with that? Like how did you come up with that layout? When did that even start, I guess?
um well, the beginning of this year, my year goal, my spiritual goal was to look for Jesus every day in my life.
Mhm.
And now that the year's ending, I'm like, well, I can't stop doing that. So that definitely has to be part of my next year's habit tracking. But the joy one I've been doing, I think this will be 4 years, but 4, 5, 6 years ago, life was really hard with a particular relationship in my home. And I really just turned to the scriptures and tried to find peace. And I realized that if I focused on the joy or something positive every day, then I would see more positive. Like what you focus on expands. Instead of looking at all the things that were wrong or it wasn't turning out the way I wanted. So I started that joy, feeling joy every day about 4 years ago. And I can't stop doing that because I feel like I just spiral really quickly.
Oh, wow.
And so that's really helped my anxiety. It's helped me feel more peace. And it fills me with gratitude.
Mhm.
And those are the things that science has proved,
Mhm.
and spiritual has proved that, like, when we feel grateful and we feel joyful, it doesn't matter what's happening or not happening.
I agree with that 100% about like whatever you're focusing on, you're going to see more of. So like that's again why I just think that page is so cool because you're looking for God, you're looking for joy, you're looking to serve. So you're
Yeah.
just going to continually perpetuate that in your life, like daily.
Yeah.
It's going to have really cool results personally, I think for people around you. Obviously, it has for you. I mean,
Right.
happy to have found you. Like it's been so fun to work with you, and it's going to be really powerful for a lot of people to have this tool.
I I have been afraid that some people would look at this and feel overwhelmed.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, that's my perspective. I was like, well, some people just look at that and like, I can't do that. And I want you to realize that this has been a process. Like I added one thing at a time. Like I started with the joy thing, and then I added the habit tracker. And then I started looking for God in my life. And this year, it's really adding the service. I didn't have that in it last year.
Oh,
I
wow.
learned that somewhere out throughout this year, like maybe through the middle of the year. Then I started really looking at serving one person. And I know that's part of my business model of life coaching, that
Mhm.
service is really important part of it. So um, I I really feel strongly that it doesn't matter where you start. If you just started with one little part of where you are and you weren't doing this whole thing completely,
Yeah,
that even one piece would help. It
totally.
would help take where you are and just help you elevate, um, feeling better about yourself, feeling closer to what your potential is and what your purpose is in life.
Totally.
And month after month, you're like, okay, now I could add one more piece in.
Mhm.
So I'm going to be guiding people through this.
Good. I was just gonna ask you, I was
Yeah,
like, aren't you so people can listen in here, like, hey, take baby steps, love that.
yeah.
But you're teaching us, right? When tell us
Right.
about that.
So I'm going to do a Zoom call Tuesday. I guess this airs on Tuesday.
I'm gonna probably air it Monday so that
Okay. Okay. So it'll be November 19th. I'm going to do a Zoom call and go through all of this and the pages and what they're meant for. But starting in January, I'm going to do a 6-month program.
Ooh,
And I am going to like just guide people, and we're going to do this together. I mean, this is a new thing for me too,
yeah.
but I love the community. I love gathering like you with people that have the same purpose, like goal, and really want to elevate their life and improve and expand and do more. Um, I'm going to do a group, a 6-month group.
Is it gonna be in person, online?
It'll be online. We'll
Okay.
meet once a week online. And then throughout the 6 months, like we'll be touching on different things.
Mm,
And the importance of it. I think it's important to understand why we're doing this. Like, why are we tracking our joy? But, you know,
Exactly.
so, and, um, and it's bringing, for me, it brings the happiness of life, our health, our physical body, and our connections with God and with people. Like if we can keep our happiness and our health together, then we have more to give and to serve. And so
I love that.
yeah,
Creating a community is what you're doing.
I am creating a community.
That's so exciting. And you're going
I've,
to use this bullet journal and you're going to grow together with these
yep,
people.
yep,
I love that. So stay tuned for that, people.
yes, yes.
That will be so fun.
That will be launched in January.
Great. I know, because my next question was going to be, how can people find you? How can they work with you? Tell us. I mean, you kind
Um,
of out
right
there.
now, the best place to get me is Instagram,
Okay. What's your name?
and it is Becky Schettler Coaching.
Okay.
And
I put
Schettler is
the notes, so
SCH.
find her.
Yeah.
I'll add it so that people
Okay.
can see you if they've found
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. That's the best place to get me right now. Um, and I I am working on a website,
Great.
and that will be, yeah. So that's BeckySchettler.coaching or .com.
Okay.
Sorry, BeckySchettlerCoaching.com.
I
Um, and yeah, I mean, literally this is all so new. It's like when I got this in my hands, then like the whole thing opened up. I'm like, this is it. This is what I was waiting for. And I didn't know what that missing piece was.
I
So
love.
I'm just going to run with it.
Good. You should. I think, I mean, you've started educating people about it this week, and I already feel like people are getting really excited and seeing, and that's just the evidence we're seeing, right? Like
Right.
people have told me, but like who knows the people that are like seeing this and like,
Right.
oh. So
Yeah.
we're excited for people to get this in their hands
Yeah.
and use it next year. I love helping people bullet journal, and that's again been a reason why I've felt excited to help people make these custom bullet journals because, yeah, it can be just intimidating to start something new. Even
Yeah.
the one that you've made that's like already basically made for them, they don't have to draw anything out. That's still
Right.
intimidating. So we just want to help you. Me and Becky are the your bullet journal gals.
Yep. Yep. We are. It's so great.
We are bullet journal pals too. It's been so
Yes.
to like I think I literally just liked your habit tracker or something, right? Like I don't even remember how we met, but I just like sent you a little, that's cool, because that is
Yeah.
cool. I relate to that. And then we were like, you were like, you're cool. And I was like, you're cool. And then we like
That's how I make most of my friends.
honestly, right? It's like it's pretty fun to just find the people that you click with
Yeah.
and then work together and then make something fun and
And we
yeah,
can be two totally different stages of life.
work.
And I think that's the most beautiful part of womanhood
Yes.
is that we need both. We need, I love the older women in my life,
Yeah.
and I love the younger women in my life. I'm so inspired by both. And I feel like right now I'm in the middle.
You are.
I am. I have so much of life ahead. I didn't feel that way a few years ago. I was like, I don't know what my purpose is anymore. My kids have all graduated from high school. And like, what do I do now? And so the last couple of years, slowly, I just feel like the Lord's been molding me and putting people in my life and my path that have helped me see more of who I can be. So this is a big part of it. So thank you, Krista.
It's so fun. I mean, it's really cool to hear both of our stories and how we came together because I was the same way. I was like working with my coach Alex and she wanted a custom bullet journal and I just remember being like, I feel like there's more people out there that have like a really cool and I specifically thought of coaches, right? Because I was just like, you could really make a powerful bullet journal and use it for your people. So we
Yeah.
were bound to find each other.
Yes.
It happened.
Yes.
So,
So I was gonna say I also have a podcast called Shine On that
oh
I,
yeah.
yeah.
And you helped me, and I think that's was I was going to ask you about that. I hadn't started my podcast when we first met,
I
huh?
know. I know. And now we're doing your podcast.
And now you're my first guest on my podcast. It's kind
Yeah.
of, and you had inspired an earlier episode too, because I was just kind of like, we're just going with it. And you were like, talk about this. So,
Yeah.
and now here you are, my guest.
Yep. Yep. And
Great.
my podcasts will come back. I feel like I'm still being molded. It's a whole new experience. The
Mhm.
first part of my podcast was talking to people about how they see the light of Christ in their life,
Love that.
how they shine on.
Mhm.
And so I feel like I've been transformed into something new of really applying certain things to life that make us shine, that activate that light within us. So
Ooh, beautiful.
that's where I'm going. I'm just going to get this group set up for the first of the year and then
And then you'll
keep
start.
going.
Oh, I love that. Shine on. Wait, I think we're kind of wrapping up, but I don't think you talked about like where does you're calling this bullet journal Shine On.
Yes.
Tell me why. I think you've told me, but I want everyone else to know why.
Yes. I have a special gift to see the light of Christ in others. And I like as I listen to them, I become a witness of who they are and help them see that they can activate the light within them. But the shine on really comes from a phrase that my mom, when my mom passed away, I said, "Shine on, mom." Like she was always a shining light here. And I love that about her. But the reason I called this Shine On bullet journal is it's a comprehensive system to align our heart, mind, and spirit with God and activate his light within us. So when you apply these principles, you're actually activating the light of Christ within you, that you become a shining pillar for other people. So like this is just all coming together for me that just feels so aligned and in tune with my purpose in life and how I actually can serve other people.
I love that so much.
That's it.
That's amazing. Well,
And you've helped me so much to get there. I wouldn't be where I wouldn't have this if it weren't for you. So thank you for all your work and effort.
you're welcome. I've told you this before, but I'm like I feel like I've started like wishing for things and wanting things and they happen. So I'm like not surprised because I knew there were people out there like that, like you, that I could help. But it's still really cool to hear. It's still really cool to see like the fruits of your labor, I guess,
Yeah.
coming out and why I do what I do and you do what you do and
Yep.
how beautiful it is to come together. So,
Yes. And our paths crossed at the exact right moment.
and
So
yes, thank you for being patient with me in my phase because I don't know if you heard crying and Legos and there's lots going on here. And I'm working around this schedule, but it's fun. It works
yeah.
out. I'm just so grateful for how understanding and kind you've been through all of this and how much you've helped me. You helped me get this podcast going and you've been
I'm cheering you on. I think you're amazing. You got this, girl. Let's go launch this baby.
let's launch it. It's launched today if you're listening on Monday, and I'll link everything in the show notes. I'll put my website. If you haven't followed Becky, follow her because you have an additional 10% off code to help people get a bigger discount. It's on sale for launch week. It's also going to be on sale for basically 2 weeks. So try and get it now. You'll have it for the end, before the end of the year. So
Yes.
let's like set it up a little bit before the end of the year.
And if you go on, you can enter a drawing for a giveaway. I'm giving one away. So I've got some uh, instructions of how to enter the drawing on Instagram.
Love it.
But,
Mhm.
so
Okay, well,
yeah.
thank you so much for your
Hey.
time today, Becky.
Yes, it's been so good. Thanks, Krista. You're
Yeah,
amazing.
and we'll talk soon. See ya.
Bye.
Mhm.